As president this year and have thoroughly enjoyed that opportunity that I've been given to serve. I would personally like to thank Chelsea and Wilson for their leadership, their vision to make tonight come together, and everybody that helped them. So please join me in thanking them. Truly is wonderful to see the club come together and work together as a team and put on something very special and watch so many people come out to enjoy it. So again, thank you. We invite you to finish up your dinner if you're not done, and your plates will be removed as they are as you're done. And this promises to be an evening of a lot of laughs. So we hope that you're ready to sit back, get comfortable, and enjoy the show. In the spirit of Kiwanis meetings, I would like to invite, we've got Sally Kimball, we've got Ronnie Kelly, and T.O. Craigwell. We're going to start the official part of the evening off just like we start our meetings. So if you guys would come down front, please, to help us kick that off. Our song will be led by T.O. Craigwell, and you do have the words in your program in case you don't know the words. Our Pledge of Allegiance will be done by Sally Kimball. Our prayer will be led by Ronnie Kelly. And then I will lead us in the Kiwanis defining statement. So I will ask T.O. to kick it off.
Yesterday morning, before going to Kiwanis, I got in the car and the radio came on automatically. It was to another radio station other than ours because it was a sports station. And I was surprised to hear the news that was there. But what caught my attention was, at a point in time, and I sat there listening to it for a while before I even left. What got my attention was they said, let's take some calls. And the caller that came on made the statement, you're going to hear this resulted because of gun. But that's not what caused it. Darkness caused it. And up until this point in time, light has conquered darkness. And we must set about to shine the light to make people who need help aware help is just a step away and we should be ready to offer it. I thought that was such an impact. He went on to say, our Constitution was written by people following some tremendous darkness. And it has been a shining light to us all these years. And if we let it, it will continue to be a shining light, but we must be shining lights. I want to ask you to join with me as we sing America the Beautiful. Those verses, and especially verse 3 that we'll sing, give us an insight into what it is to let our light shine. Join with me as we sing. Stand. Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of green, for purple mountain majesty above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed His grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Oh, beautiful for heroes prove who liberating strive, who more than self their their country love and mercy more than life. America, America, may God thy glory find, till all success be nobleness, and every gain divine.
If you'll please remain standing as we say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, we're going to go to the Lord in prayer, but we're going to take a moment of silence for the tragedy that happened at Green Hill. Our Father, which art in heaven, we thank you for this opportunity to come together. We thank you, Lord, for this Kiwanis Club. We thank you, Lord, that we have done the thing that you would have us to do. And I thank you, Lord, for helping us to come together and be on one accord. And we're praying, Lord, that not only Kiwanis Club, but each and every club in Lebanon, Tennessee. We're praying, Lord, that we all come together and realize, Lord, it's not about us, but it's all about you. And we're praying, Lord, that you help us to love one another just a little bit more. Help us to continue to pray for those who don't know you for the pardon of their sins. And help us, Lord, to realize that we need the fruit of the Spirit. And I'm praying, Lord, that you continue to go with us and stand by us. And we pray that each and every person will have a safe journey back home. And we thank you for this food that we receive for the nourishment of our bodies. And we thank you for those that prepare this food. All these blessings we do ask. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Thank you. In your program, I'll step back. In your program, we have our defining statement just inside on the top. If you would join me, if you'd like to recite it with me. Kiwanis is a global organization of volunteers dedicated to improving the world, one child and one community at a time. As a club, we welcome you to be our guest at any time. I'd be remiss if I didn't invite you to join Kiwanis, but you're welcome to join our meeting at any point in time if you would like to. We meet on Monday at noon for our regular meeting at First United Methodist Church in Hessen Hall. Any member here tonight that was serving you or that's up here on the stage, we're happy to answer any questions that you might have. So the time has come that everybody has been waiting for. Our Master of Ceremonies, John Bryan, will introduce our head table and share just a bit more about where the proceeds from tonight will go. About John has served our community with Kiwanis for over 41 years, including offices like the president, club president, lieutenant governor of Kentucky and Tennessee. Please join me in welcoming John Bryan to the podium and let him kick off our official show.
Thank you. Isn't it a great night to be alive and well in Lebanon, Tennessee? Thank you, T.O. and Ronnie, for those thoughts and that thoughtful prayer. And I tell you, we've gone through a lot, and it always happens somewhere else, and now it's happened here. So just our thoughts and prayers for those affected by yesterday's tragedy. But tonight we're going to celebrate. We're going to have a little fun. We're going to try to have some fun. I appreciate everyone coming out. This is our second annual Kiwanis Club Celebrity Roast. You know, for some 30 years, this event was a part of our community as the Lebanon Wilson County Library Association put on the roast. They chose not to continue it after the year they took off with COVID. And we made a quick phone call. We picked this thing up, and I must say I'm so pleased that Chelsea and Wilson has put this thing together this year. Let's give them another round of applause. The proceeds of this event will not only benefit the Lebanon Wilson County Library Board, but We help a lot of nonprofit and local causes in our community, and we've listed a lot of those that we've helped from year in to year out in our program here tonight. I won't go over those with you this evening, but the monies that we raise goes directly back into our Kiwanis Club Community Foundation account, and we're trying to build that account up through the Community Foundation, and that's another part of our club. We have a foundation account, and we're trying to get that built up to where we can take the interest off that account and put it back into the community and not have to flip pancakes and cook sausage. So that's our whole key to doing this, so we don't have to do a pancake day anymore. So that's motivation for a lot of us old timers. We are now in our 77th year of existence. And I must say, our club has gained some great momentum in the past couple of years, and it's all about having younger members. And I'm so pleased that we have been able to bring in some young blood to the club so us older guys can take a step back. Is that right, Ed Callis? Amen. Amen. If you are in the Kiwanis Club, we can't do this by ourselves. All the club members that are here tonight, please stand up and be recognized at this moment. Look around. These folks serving you tonight and serve this community. We cannot do what we do without our sponsors. And I talked to our Middle Tennessee Electric group down here a few minutes ago and asked them if they could share a little bit something about insulation and the key of turning your lights off at certain times. So Dale, if you would, no, I'm just kidding. They've been our headline sponsor for a couple of years now, and we appreciate what y'all do. The food was a great part of this. First Freedom Bank sponsored our meal tonight. John, thank you, J.B. Owens, and all the folks over there at First Freedom Bank. Ryan Woodall is another club member from First Freedom, and JB's been in the club a number of years, past president, and we got big plans for Ryan in the future as well. So hit your pony up there, Ryan. Thank you to Middle Tennessee Electric and First Freedom Bank. Let's hear it for those. Our patron sponsors, all these are listed in your programs, but I do want to mention City of Lebanon, Cumberland University, Farm Bureau Exposition Center, Farm Bureau Insurance, Castle Heights office, West Dugan, another club member, Hearthside Senior Living, Sean Dozier and the gang over there, thank you, Ligon and Bobo Funeral Home, Pinnacle Bank, THW Insurance Services, LLC, WANT FM 98.9, WCOR AM 1490, Susie, my compadre on this event last year. She has worked tirelessly with her daughter and Wilson on pulling this thing together and the decorations on the table. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Wilson Bank and Trust, Wilson County Sheriff Robert Bryan, Wilson County Automotive, WP and his gang over here to my left. Thank you, WP, again for sponsoring this year. Ed and Brenda Callis, Friends of Kiwanis, Jim Harding, Kiwanis Club of Mount Juliet's with us tonight. Thank you, gang. Leadership Wilson, class of 2008. I understand they're the best class ever, but maybe not. We'll see. Special thanks to Creative Graphics for printing our game program. Tick Bryan on the video and sound. Philip Lacey taking pictures tonight. And All About Holidays for the decor you see this evening. So let's give all those folks a round of applause. Once again, our dinner tonight was provided by Houston's Meat and Produce in Mount Juliet. They do provide our club meals each Monday at the First United Methodist Church. They've done a fantastic job. The chicken was hot, the potatoes was hot, the green beans was hot, the bread was warm, and the iced tea was sweet, and that's what I like. So let's hear it for Houston's and First Freedom Bank for sponsoring our caterers. As usual, we have a lot of public officials that show up and buy tickets and buy tables and whatnot. And we have a lot of public officials here this evening. If you are an elected official or you're representing one this evening, please stand and be recognized at this time. You ready to do this?
I'm ready.
Okay. Let's get into the meat of the potato. That was pretty good. I just made that up. We have 3 roasters this evening and 1 honoree. So Dorrie, I've told each one of these, don't let the truth get in the way of a good story. So our first presenter this evening is Lisa Tucker. She's the owner-operator of Aquabella Day Spa and Hair Studio in Mount Juliet. Lisa is no stranger to our community, as she has been very active in Leadership Wilson, the Mount Juliet Chamber of Commerce, and MTAR. She's a 30-plus year licensed realtor, currently with Bob Parks Realty. She and Dorrie have quite the history, so join me in welcoming our first roaster to the podium, Lisa Tucker.
Here I come. Thank you. I'm delighted to be here for this audition. Who knows where this is going to go? Tonight we're honoring the lady of the hour, Dorrie Mitchell. Why, I don't know. It's her. Let me give you all a little advice. If you're at the margarita house with your friends and you're in a couple pictures of margaritas and this one calls you, don't answer the phone. This is why I'm here tonight. Because I thought, yeah, that's a great idea. I could do that until I woke up the next morning thinking, what was I thinking? So, and on top, I was like, little did I not look at my schedule. Who would like to go see Trisha Yearwood tonight? Yeah, me. I was supposed to be at the Country Music Hall of Fame. I had tickets because I'm a member and I'm not there. Thank you. I should have never answered that phone. So Dorrie, I think, watches just a little bit of much of HGTV. Sometimes I think she watches too much TV. You know, we used to wear bracelets that says WWJD, what would Jesus do? She thinks it says, what would Joanna do? So then, have you followed her on Facebook or any other things? Have you seen her where she's walking around with the Carol Burnett, with her draperies and her rod? What are we going to do with her? Scarlett, what are we going to do? And her hair. What can we say about her hair, right? Isn't this cute? Again, too much TV. Guy Ferrari, that's you. Together, we were on the tablescaping. Together, we created this tablescaping thing at the fairgrounds. Last year, the theme was Dixie of the South. Dorrie's like, I'm going to set a table. She shows up with her best Dixie paper plates and for her Southern formal table. I have to tell you a story about us. We go to New York one time, about 5 years ago. It's about midnight. We're coming up out of the subway. I'm from there, so I take people there all the time. We come up, and there's a pile of trash, whereas there is everywhere in New York, about the biggest this stage. And just 6 of us were coming and walking around. Next thing you know, here comes the garbage truck. And he starts doing his air brakes. Psh, psh, psh. And when he does, a couple hundred rats come running out. And we take off and we start running. Well, the next day she goes, we have to go back. That was the best ag day ever. And we did, and I was live on Facebook the second night because they're there every day. You know, you wonder, I asked her, how do you stay looking so great? How do you look so young? She said, it's easy. I just hang around old people. So we have these little hats at the gift shop at the end, so if you want to pick one up, they only come in one color, gray. So if you want one, she'll get you one. I want to say thank you. You're such a good sport for signing up for this, and thank you. I am appreciative that you asked me. I feel very honored. I met in 2011. You know, she tells everybody in your class, if you ever been through leadership, was you'll make friends. And you know what? My friend was Dorrie. So, Dorrie, thank you. I love you more than anything.
Thank you, Lisa. Very good. Got us going. Got the wheels turning. I know my wheels are turning about the margaritas and such, but we won't go there right now. Our next presenter, our next roaster, is no stranger to the Lebanon community. Jeff Ray and I go back, way back to the 1970s. He's a Blue Devil legend from the class of 1977 and was passionately known as Meathead through junior high and high school. I think Tilford Elkins or maybe even gave you that nickname. Jeff retired in January of 2020 after a 35-year career with PFG Leicester. His wife Kendra is here tonight, sitting at the THW table with my wife and my friends the Hatchers and my mom and dad, so everybody wave to them. Kendra is here, as I said. They have 3 grown children and 5 adorable grandchildren, so we always add another adjective for grandchildren. We learned that, haven't we, Kendra? Our second roaster this evening, let's make welcome Jeff Ray, ladies and gentlemen.
Got to get my glasses on, I'm old. So I couldn't properly roast Dorrie without going back in time and looking at an annual here, 1977 annual, and there's this little small girl right here, number 52 for freshman basketball. And right below her is number 45, John Bryan, freshman basketball player. And I found this picture because one day I heard Wade and my son and a bunch of other people laughing upstairs, and I went up to see what they were laughing about. They had this annual out laughing at Dorrie's picture. This thing's in the way. Dorrie, looking at those pictures in there, you and I have one thing in common, and that's we both had a lot more hair in 1977. My first recollection of Dorrie was the first what I will call self-driving car. Dorrie had an orange Volkswagen Beetle, and it would hit West Main Street at about IGA, where Speedy Burrito is now. It'd go down West Main, it'd go through Sunshine Dairy Dip, it'd go down West Main, it'd go through Dick's Food Mart, come back down West Main. And it seemed like it did that 24/7. And there would always be more girls in that car than there were seats. And the reason why I call it self-driving is because it made that trek and you would never see hands on the steering wheel. They were all waving and smiling and looking at people as they went down West Main. And then she started dating Timmy. And ladies, I'm gonna warn you, one thing we knew for sure, if she was dating Timmy, she had pretty feet. So ladies, if you were wearing open-toe shoes tonight and your shoe polish doesn't match, or you've not had a pedicure lately, cover your feet, because Timmy will notice it. And he'll be able to tell you if the little wee all the way home guy is crawling up on the one who had none. He'll know. And that's the truth. So we're going to fast forward a few years. And Dorrie and I went to work. We both worked together at Performance Food Group, Kenneth O. Lester Company at that time. We worked there a number of years. She was in charge of fun things like food shows, customer trips. And our sons became best friends, and still a friendship that exists to this day. Matter of fact, the first place my son ever spent the night was at Dorrie's house because she drugged him. I was okay with it though. I was tired of picking him up at 1 o'clock in the morning. So they sent Dorrie and Bernie Christian and I to Little Rock, Arkansas to a training seminar. Upon returning from dinner one night, there was a huge celebration going on in the lobby of the hotel. And Dorrie gets the wild idea, let's crash the party. Typical Dorrie fashion. So we crashed the party. And they've got this choreographed dance that they dance to, and everybody in there was doing it. They were celebrating the governor of Arkansas being reelected. And the story gets even better because little did we know that it would become Bill Clinton, President of the United States party. And I'm going to let Dorrie in her rebuttal show you the dance moves that they had at this party. Because the song that they choreographed to was Who's Making Love to Your Old Lady while you were out making love. And you can imagine what the choreographed dance was. And so Dorrie gets to show that tonight. Timmy, you can join her if you wish. So then a few years later, Dorrie plans these fun trips, and we went on a cruise. I could spend all my time telling this story because Timmy will remember this one. So Timmy on a cruise is like being in celebrity status. He stayed in the casino playing the nickel slot machines the whole time, and all the old ladies loved him. They called him Lucky. We'd be at dinner, and they'd be coming up, can we get a picture with Lucky? Can we see Lucky? Let us, hey, Lucky. We'd be walking along the boat, hey, Lucky, what are you doing? So last night of the boat, on a cruise, you're supposed to put your bags out in the hall. So when you deport, they come along and get your bags. It was about 1 o'clock in the morning. Knock on her door. And I jump up thinking I forgot to put my bags out. And I open the door and it's Timmy. He's like, cuss, I got to have help, I said, Dorrie's having one of them diabetic effects, diabetic attacks. She's passed out in front of the door. Well, I jump up, Kendra jumps up. We go over to help, and we can't get the door open. We have to force the door open. He thinks she's passed out on the floor, because you may not know it, but Dorrie's diabetic, and that was before she got her pump. And so we get the door open, and he sees that she's alive, and she's not in front of the doors. The suitcases are there. And so Timmy tells Kendra to come in with me. He says, Jeff, you go get orange juice. So I run to the kitchen, fly up there. Kitchen's closed. So I see the phone at the hostess stand. And I said, picked up the phone, I dialed 911. You know who you get on 911 at 1 o'clock in the morning in a cruise? They think somebody's falling over the boat. You get the captain driving the boat. And I said, got a diabetic attack in 123, I need some orange juice. He says, call room service. I said, sir, no, I don't have time for room service. I said, I need orange juice right away. He said, sir, the only way you're going to get orange juice at 1 o'clock in the morning is room service. He said, I'll connect you. And he didn't say another word. He connected me. Phone rings, and the guy says, room service. I said, I got a diabetic attack in room 123. I need orange juice. He said, I'll make you some fresh right away. I said, don't need fresh, old, whatever. I just need orange juice. Let me tell you something. That guy was an Olympic orange juice squeezer, because he beat me back to the room with the orange juice and was coming out of the room. Orange juice is sitting on the counter. Dorrie's sitting on the edge of the bed. Dorrie's got on her panties. And the card to tell you what to do about checking out and getting your bags out in the hall, covering up her chest, like this right here. And she has convinced my wife that there is nothing wrong with her. She is fine. I'm okay. I'm just mad at Timmy for hanging out in the casino. She says, Timmy says, Dorrie, drink the orange juice. That man made that for you special. Would you please drink the orange juice? I ain't drinking orange juice. I hate orange juice. I didn't order it. Dorrie, please drink the orange juice. I don't want any orange juice. And it's sitting there. Kendra finally says, Dorrie, would you please drink some orange juice? So she picks it up, takes just a drop of it and puts it down. She says, y'all happy now? About that time, I saw a side of Timmy I've never seen before. And I'm thoroughly convinced that this is why Dorrie keeps her hair so short to this day. Because it was kind of like when you got to give one of your pets a pill and they don't want to swallow it. He grabbed her by the hair on the back of her head, and he pulled her head back, and he started pouring orange juice. And there's orange juice bubbling out of her mouth, all down her instructions on how to check out. And it was probably a minute and a half later, she came to, and it was like everything was just fine. And then she realized how she was dressed. And I made a quick exit about that point. So they did get their bags packed up and out in the hall. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Dorrie may have left on the boat the next morning with 2 different pair of shoes on. I think she packed one of each shoe and ended up with 2 shoes. So then, a little more time passes. I told you I was going to be longer than 10 minutes. I can't help it. I kept trying to cut things out. Dorrie comes running in my office one day at work. Says, guys, I have a great idea. Jim's birthday's coming up. I have found a belly dancer. $20 a piece. It's going to cost us $100. We can get a belly dancer to come in and belly dance for him. I'm thinking Barbara Eden from I Dream of Jeannie. What we got was one of the 3 ugly ladies from Deja Vu. She showed up with a boombox and a trench coat. And about 30 seconds into her dance, she had on less clothes than Dorrie did, sitting on the edge of that bed. Luckily, we didn't get fired. We got fired in today's world, and I don't know how she ever left or how it ended, because I think I went into hiding under a table somewhere, sucking my thumb, hoping that I still had a job. So we're going to fast forward a few more years, and Dorrie becomes head of the Topsiders Club at Friendship. She does a lot of wonderful, great things with that. I mean, the things they still do today at the Topsiders Club. And where she comes up with some of these things, I do not know. But she came up with donkey basketball. She got this donkey basketball. They insured her that won't hurt the floor. They put shoes on them. It's all fun. It's safe. She got all the local dignitaries, the mayors, the preachers in town, councilmen. She had everybody, a who's who of Wilson County, riding donkeys. It hadn't started yet, and they've already had gone out there and with a scoop shovel and cleaned the floor up twice. And I'd heard all my life that the Sellers brothers were some of the toughest people in Lebanon. That you didn't mess with the Sellers brothers. They were Golden Glove boxers. They were tough as pine knots. About a minute and a half into this thing, they're dragging Brother Sellers off the floor with a broken leg. And as the great orator Forrest Gump would say, that's all I have to say about that. So another one of her things, she came up with the great idea. Friendship's playing Gordonsville. We're going to hire the Music City Star to drive to Gordonsville for the football game. They got on the Music City Star, went to Gordonsville for the football game. Everything's working great. Everything's wonderful. On the way home, the train breaks down. I don't know if you've thought about it, but the train track between here and Gordonsville might be where they filmed Deliverance. There's not a real good way to get to the train track between here and Gordonsville on the back roads. And I asked Dorrie, I said, how'd y'all get home? She said, I really don't remember. But I think they may have brought school buses in and Dorrie made them sing Wheels on the Bus on the way home. So time moves on. Dorrie and I gotten older. Now we're grandparents. She got 3, I've got 5. The cool thing now with grandparents is we can't be grandma and grandpa. We got to come up with these cute little names. My wife's Lovey. Isaac either be Thurston Howell or Sweet Daddy, so I chose Sweet Daddy. Timmy and Dorrie are Bunny and Cash. I have to say, when I first heard that, I thought, what are they trying to do? They going to open a bail bonds place? They going to open a pawn shop? I mean, in my mind, I dreamed up a billboard. Here's Timmy, looked like J.R. Ewing with a suit and a big black hat on, smiling real big, and Dorrie all blinged up. He says, Popo got you cash? Got your stash? Come see Bunny and Cash. Or for the pawn shop, it'd be, you running low on money? Come see Cash and Bunny. Can't you see that picture of Timmy sitting there smiling and Dorrie all blinged up? I get it though. I mean, Cash, Timmy's always got a load of cash, and Dorrie, a bunny is the best way to describe her because she's like the Energizer bunny in that she never stops. Her batteries never run low, and she's always on the go. So lastly, Dorrie, thanks for the years of laughs, the good times, and the friendship. And one last thing. The City of Lebanon spring cleaning starting next week. Would you drag your Christmas tree to the curb?
Thank you, Jeff. As any great event, you always have a cleanup hitter, and we have one tonight in Lee Campbell. Now, he has admitted to me earlier that he seems funnier when everybody's liquored up and we don't have any liquor. So if everybody would hold their breath and count to 20, maybe you get a little dizzy, and that would take the place of some good vodka at this moment now. But Lee is batting cleanup. He's been described as a stand-up comedian disguised as a banker. Lee is the Senior Vice President and Area Manager for Wilson County and the Donaldson Branch for Pinnacle Bank. He's very active in our community as he serves on the CASA Board. He's President-elect of the Mount Juliet Chamber and is currently serving on the Board of Leadership Wilson. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give our final roaster a warm Kiwanis welcome, Lee Campbell. Hey.
All right. How are y'all doing? Good. Glad to hear it. They say we only love the ones we roast, but that's not going to be the case tonight. Okay? I remember the first time I met Dorrie, and I'm still trying to forget it. She runs a cult. It's Leadership Wilson. How many of y'all in it? Raise your hand. See? And they're proud to be in Leadership Wilson. It's a scam. It's a cult. Not as much as Wilson Bank and Trust, but it's a cult. Okay? I'm just kidding. I would join, but I'm not shaving my head for nothing. Okay? So you get the card. If you don't know about Leadership Wilson, you get cards, and you got to go do all these different things. You got to go to, let me just say a couple. You got to go to a planning meeting. You got to go to a city planning meeting. You got to do a board meeting, a school board meeting, and you got to give them a stool sample. What the hell? It was 2018, and we're giving stool samples. But then you fast forward and you go to what used to be Sherry's Hope, and they say, oh, it's for cancer screening. There's a kit. Dorrie, please do not open the envelope that I sent you. You wanted a sample. It said stool sample, so I've gave you plenty of samples. The poverty simulator, you ever heard of that? That's where you go and you learn about how people that are struggling, Dorrie calls that how the other half live. Dorrie sets up a table and tries to get first-time home buyer loans. They call it Give Money for Cash and Bunny. They told me the retreat was going to be co-ed. I was bought into this whole pineapple thing. Yeah, see, they're smiling. They know about it. We were told. Co-ed. True story, my parents lived in a retirement home with a town home, and for Christmas I gave them a pineapple flag, just for fun. And you wouldn't believe the treats they got for Christmas. Everybody was so nice and sweet to them. And then you get to go to jail for a day. Have you heard about that? You get to go to jail for a day. We were walking through there with Dorrie, and you hear, hey, Miss Dorrie. She's like, oh, he doesn't know who I am. Leadership Youth, 2013, best class ever, Miss Dorrie. And then you get to ride around with a cop, or some of you call that a Thursday. Here's some of the things the officer told me that night. Please stop singing Bad Boys, Bad Boys. For the love of God, I'm not calling you Starsky, and quit calling me Hutch. I don't need cover fire. Stop grabbing the mic and saying, Luke, I am your father. And so then you get Ag Day. You ever remember Ag Day? You go to the dairy farm. I got to milk a cow till Dorrie told me it was a bull. I was wondering why in the hell it only had one udder. It's not nice at all. So if you know anything about Dorrie, we're already running late. You know, we'll be at our first stop at Leadership Wilson. We're already 2 minutes behind. How'd that happen? And then we go to our last stop, and it's Amazon, and she tells the guy, hey, Mr. Smith, you got 2.5 minutes to tell us everything you can tell us about Amazon. Well, Dorrie's one of the best people I know. She changed my life coming to Wilson County. So we love you. I hope you enjoyed the time, and sorry that Jeff took all my time. Thank you.
Lee Campbell, ladies and gentlemen. Lee will be back on Saturday night. He's fronting for, anyway, okay. Let me take a moment to introduce the family. The table down here to my right, stage left, I guess they say in the big leagues. At the Mitchell table, we have Tim Mitchell, Dorrie's husband and father of her children. Okay. I believe that's right, isn't it? Tim's the father of her children. Oh, yeah, I see it now. They got pretty feet, too. Son Wade, wife Camille. Son Cale, wife Caroline. Sister Kelly Sweat and her husband Todd. Thanks for coming. From Brentwood. Ooh. She got her toes covered up. She been there, done that. Her dad, bless your heart, Bobby Griffin. Thanks for coming. Deanna Dodd, Dorrie's partner in crime. That's Lebanon's, Dorrie and Deanna's combined. They're like Lebanon's List It or Love It bunch there, but they usually list it, I think. Some they've loved, but they've mostly listed it. And dear friend Suzette Remus, thanks for coming out tonight and enjoying this evening with us. And let's hear it for Dorrie's family, because every family has one, and Dorrie is theirs. Dorrie and I go way back. We graduated high school together in 1980 from Lebanon High School, and but the first time I met Dorrie was somewhere between, and I confirmed this all with her today, sometime in our 8th grade summer going into our freshman year. Dorrie bounced around elementary schools and junior highs like she did college. She was at Southside for the 1st, 2nd, and 4th grade, but she was at McLean for the 3rd, 5th, and 6th grade, I believe that's right. And she couldn't explain why. So I would say it probably had something to do with, I don't know. I found that quite odd. But we were, until she told me her college story. But anyway, we were playing softball at Tucker's Crossroads in a co-ed league, and Dorrie played third base, but she was the first girl that I ever met that dipped skull, and she could spit better than anybody. No, that's the truth. She dipped skull, and I think she got off of Copenhagen sometime after her junior year in high school. Dorrie took over Leadership Wilson from Lucy Lee. What year was it? 2007. I was the last class of Miss Lucy, and so Dorrie kind of rode shotgun that year, and you know, honestly, when I knew Dorrie was inheriting that, I knew that she was going to make it even better, to take it up to the next level, and she has done that. Everything she touches, it turns to gold, or she gets people to help it turn gold. And she's done wonders at Friendship Christian School. In that effort, along with Tim, they finally shook that away from them after many, many, many years. But Leadership Wilson is at a completely different level because of her. And we're going to hear from Dorrie now as she takes care and cleans up this mess to my right.
Y'all ready? I did. My toes are painted. In honor of my husband, my toes are painted. I told my little granddaughter yesterday, well, she was going to the daddy-daughter dance Friday night. I went, Cross, your toes are not perfect. We've got to clean that off and get those toes looking good. Cash would not be appropriate. I don't think you were appropriate. So I don't even know what to say. I got a little, okay, if you've been through Leadership Wilson, I'm a red. I promise. I've tried to take the test a million times. I want to be blue so bad, but I'm not blue. I'm red. But tonight, I swear I've got some blue in me because this is a lot of people that took the time out on a busy Thursday night. I know you've got kids and grandkids that are busy in the spring, and Tuesday, good grief, why don't you? I think I held my breath too long a while ago. Tuesday night.
Take another drink of this vodka.
Sorry, Tuesday night, whatever night. You took your time out. And that's pretty impressive. Somebody a while ago said, gosh, do you know everybody in Lebanon? I went, well, because of Leadership Wilson and other things I've been involved in, I do know a lot of people. But Lebanon and Wilson County and Mount Juliet and Watertown are full of great people, and it's always fun just to meet people. And I appreciate you coming. I can't thank you enough. I can't thank the Kiwanis Club enough for what they do. They're all about children. And if you know me very much, you know that's what I'm about too. I'm about making our community great, and it starts with our children. I want to thank my family. I know when I told them they had to come to this, they were like, oh my gosh. You know, but I thank you. It's special that you came for me. And I know my daughter-in-laws think I am the nuttiest mother-in-law in the whole wide world. Because I've always got something crazy going on. But I appreciate them hanging with me and staying with me and being there to support me. Thank you, Todd and Kelly. It's a long way from Brentwood. Unfortunately, it seems so long. I never go to Brentwood. It's like going to a long way away, but thank you for coming. And Suzette and Deanna, thank you for coming. Deanna, thank you for hanging with me every day. If y'all only knew what it's like to be in business with me, it's not the easiest thing in the world because I've always got something crazy going on and I'm always loud and wild about it. But thank y'all for everything. And my daddy, bless his heart, he came tonight. This is not his thing to be out in front of people, but I appreciate you coming, Daddy. I thank you a lot. And thanks to my husband. It's not easy being Dorrie's husband, and I can tell you that. There's probably not another man in the world that would ever put up with me. I'm never home. I never cook. I never go to the grocery store. I never do a lot of things that a husband would like to do, but he always hangs with me, and I appreciate that because he's always kind of, I guess, last on the list when I'm taking care of everything. Everybody else and everybody else's problems and everybody else's projects, he kind of gets left behind and he never complains, and I can't thank him enough for that because he's always there to support me. And when you get roasted, the hardest thing to do is to pick these people. And this was great. I don't know that I could do what y'all did tonight. And that's a fine line of roasting somebody, and it puts you on the spot. But I thank you. Were they great? Thank you. They are three wonderful friends of mine who I could call at any time. And boy, have we had a lot of fun, the three of us. Lee is an amazing guy. And when he first went through Leadership Wilson, he didn't know a soul, not even a single person in the class. And he almost backed out the night before, didn't you? He contemplated calling me and saying, I'm not coming. But I'm glad you came, Lee.
Yeah, it's been a good ride.
And Lisa, oh my gosh, there's always a party when Lisa Tucker's around. I don't care what you're doing, it's going to be fun. And if you ever go to New York City, take Lisa with you. Because we go all night long and we're not doing anything, just having fun. We had a snowball fight on top of a hotel one time in New York City. Just stupid, crazy stuff that's so fun with Lisa. And Jeff and I have been through a lot at work. Gosh, he made work fun. We used to have a lot of fun at work. That was great. Thank you. Again, it's nice to have friends. I don't know what we people do without friends, and every one of you are my friend. I just feel so blessed tonight to look out there and see all of you. So, I get the last word. So I've been thinking about the last word, or the payback. And I decided to do something different. So, back in the fall, Cross, my 4-year-old granddaughter, is in pre-K 3. And it's the book fair at school. And I thought, okay, I'll take her to the book fair. I used to love going to the book fair. So I want everybody in this room right now to close your eyes and think about when you were in elementary school going to the book fair. Just want you to think about it and go back in elementary for just a few seconds. Got it? I'm hoping you're thinking of really good, fun stuff. Because when I think about the book fair, it was so much fun. And do you remember those little weekly reader sheets that felt like newspaper that you got to bring home? I don't know, maybe once a month, and you could fill them out and order books. It was so much fun. And I don't know that I ever bought a book, but I bought a lot of really fun erasers and pencils and just bookmarks and just fun stuff. So Cross and I go to the book fair. And I'm just watching her look at the books. And of course, she's just like me. She's over at the erasers and the little things looking. And I just stopped for a second and I thought, oh, how fun. And I remembered me going to the book fair. And I thought about all of the children in our community that never have the money to go to a book fair, and how important that is as a part of our life, our book fair memories. So I got to thinking, man, that would be a great project for Leadership Wilson. So I always throw out a bunch of projects, and that's one that stuck. So this year, there was a group of Leadership Wilson who took on the book fair challenge. And they just raised $5,000 thanks to the Kiwanis Club for making a donation to that. And they chose 2 schools in the Wilson County District, and they chose 2 schools in the Lebanon Special School District. And they picked children. Leadership Wilson didn't do it, but the school got to pick children. They were selected randomly, but we know how they were selected. And they were given cash to go to the book fair. And I got to do that last week, and it makes me want to cry because I went over to Sam Houston, and there were kids coming in the book fair with money, and they got to buy a book. And it was wonderful. And then my youth leadership this year, I challenged them to collect books. Last week, they brought over 500 books, and they're not even through yet. Next week, in 2 more weeks, we'll be collecting the final books. And those are going with the Lebanon Special School District. You know the little school bus that goes around in the summer and feeds the kids? It's a library inside. And those books that they've collected are going to be used to fill up that school bus this summer. So my payback and my last word to you tonight is 2 things. if anybody out there, Kiwanis, Rotary, Lebanon, Mount Juliet, would like to take on the book fair project so that every child in Wilson County that doesn't have the money to go to a book fair can go next year, I challenge you to do that, because it was awesome. And at the alumni luncheon in a few weeks, we're going to show a little bit of a video of some kids getting to shop with cash that they would never have. The teachers told me that when those children were selected, they could not believe they were going to get to go to the book fair. And I also want to challenge you, if you've got books, K through 8th grade, that can be used on the school bus this summer, call me. I'll come get them, and they will be used. Thank you, y'all, for everything. When they called and asked me to do this, there was no way I could say no. Every business and everybody in this community blesses Leadership Wilson. I never even have to ask twice for anything. We live in a wonderful community, y'all, and we are blessed, but there are a lot of people in our community that aren't blessed. So I hope you'll take my challenge. I hope somebody will come through and carry on our book fair project, and thank you tonight for everything.
Dorrie Mitchell. Well, you know, when we took this thing on, we promised you we were going to feed you well, we're going to give you a great venue and get you out so you can catch the Waltons at 8 o'clock. So, mission accomplished. I do want to take you up on that challenge. The centerpieces, the decorations are about Dorrie. And we have, this whole night is about raising money so we can fund things like the cause for the book fair for Leadership Wilson and that project and other things. There's centerpieces on every table. They're not free to take home, but if you want to purchase one, there's a price tag on the centerpiece. Make the check out to the Lebanon Kiwanis Club charitable fund, and that's a tax deductible gift, and just leave the check in the envelope. I think there's envelopes on the table. Somebody help me there, Deanna. Yes, and do that if you feel led to, and I promise you the money stays in Wilson County, and we put it back in events like Dorrie has described. It's been an awesome night. Thank you for our roasters. Did a great job. Thank you, Dorrie, for letting us make fun of you this evening. And thank you for that. You know, she had an opportunity to cook these folks' gooses right here, and she took the high road. But I know she had a lot, because she shared a lot with me over here before she got up there, but she didn't go there, so bless her heart. Hey, and to T.O.'s thoughts before, let's keep those folks in our hearts, in our prayers. And as T.O. said, you know, it's evil out there. And the evil one is working full-time against us. The problem is we're part-time Christians. We got to be full-time Christians to take the fight to the evil one. So stay in the light. Get out of darkness. Go home, and may God bless. Good night. Thank you.